You are now listening to
Likely to Dispute,
hosted by Monkas, Reed, and Tyler.
How's everybody doing? It's Cevan, aka the Monkas. Joined with me today, as always, is Reed and Tyler, and this is episode 26 of Likely to Dispute.
We have a very wonderful, joyous episode today. We have our first kind of in-season content of the season. Obviously, the season has not started yet, as this will be releasing the morning of the first game, but it will be relating to our week one matchup. So we're going to do a week one preview, go over all the matchups, make our picks for them, deem a primetime game of the week, and we're going to, as I said, make our picks, and we'll keep track of those throughout the year. So normally in season, we'll be recapping the past week and then giving our picks, but this is week one, so we're only previewing. But before we get to that, we're going to kick it to Tyler, our host for the day, to go over our question of the day.
Yeah, I know we're all excited for the season to start, of course. And at first, I was going to ask you guys what NFL matchup are you guys most excited for? But I feel like a lot of us, or all of us, would say we have multiple matchups we're valuing about the same or most excited to watch about the same. So I figured I'd ask, what matchup are you guys the least interested in? You might have to peep the schedule real quick. I know I have my answer, and for me personally, I'm looking at it from pretty much strictly a fantasy perspective. Um, so two teams that I don't think I have anyone in. That's who I picked. I can start it
Take
off
it.
if you guys want me to. Yeah, for me, it's Dolphins Colts, especially now that Anthony Richardson
Yeah,
is, of
really.
course, not starting. This is just a noon matchup, and that's all it deserves to be. I will not be looking at that one at all, except for on the ticker at the bottom of the screen. I don't believe I own any Dolphins players or any Colts shares either, so I'm totally good not flipping that one on. Um, yeah, I'm sure that's well, no, Reed, you
I
have
really
Colts
wish I could say
players.
that one.
Yeah, yeah,
I have Waddle in one league. I have Downs in basically every league. I wish I could not watch it, but instead it'll just be a glorious hate watch for me because, man, I want the Dolphins to win that game. But for me, I have Jets and Steelers. I have Garrett Wilson, but I still do not want to watch that freaking game because it's going to be boring and gritty and disgusting. There's going to be no offense, and Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields are going to have a smack 'em down contest of who could be less bad to win the game. So I don't know if I will be totally tuned into that one, but I'll have to at least flip it on to hope that Garrett Wilson's caught one of 7 Justin Fields passes on the day. So that was an easy one for me.
uh,
Yeah, for me, I agree with you, Reed, I think that's going to be a gross game. I do, however, have stock on both sides of the ball, so
The
that's not going to be
Steelers running
for
back number 3.
yes,
Yes.
and Justin Fields. But yeah, for me, I just looked at the schedule. There's only one game that I don't have someone in at all, which is kind of wild. But it's the Rams Texans game, which I think that's going to be a great game. It's just it's one of those 3 o'clock games, and I'd rather watch, you know, Gibbs. I'd rather watch Gibbs at 3:30. So even though I'll probably watch every single game, but I have to pick one. It'll be the one that I don't have any investment in.
yeah, that's fair. I guess we could just ask the question real quick. Matchup you guys are most looking forward to watch? Sorry to catch you off guard there. I just feel like this is such a sour note to start the week on by asking matchup we're least excited for. So, um, I guess for me, a sneaky one that I'm most excited for is Titans Broncos, just because of Cam Ward, Eli Kayumanor. I own Tony Pollard in another league, so maybe that's bad to be that excited about the Titans who were so bad last year, but
Feel like you're setting
I don't know.
yourself up for some disappointment at that
I
point.
know. And that's the thing. I didn't even really mention the Broncos. I don't think any Broncos shares, so maybe that's just some Titans slurpage. I don't know.
They were in
It's
contention for the one I want to watch least.
Uh,
I just don't think it's going to be a very fun game. I think the Broncos defense is going to have Cam Ward in a blender. I hope not.
mhm.
I'd love to see him carve him up in week one, but I'm not
Yeah.
betting on him doing anything of note against their defense because it's really good.
Yeah.
For me, mine's easy. I have two players that I stan very strong in the Seahawks 49ers game between Kenneth Walker and Jawan Jennings.
Yeah.
So that's pretty simple. I don't really have any other shares of any other players in that game, but those are two of the guys I've taken the most heat on this offseason. So when they're playing, I'll be tuned in.
Yeah, that's a good one for you.
Can,
Cevan?
yeah, can I say two games or no?
No.
No, not allowed.
Okay. All right, I'll go with this one. For me, kind of kind of disgusting. It's one of those noon games that you just forget about, but obviously outside of the Bears game, I think Patriots Raiders is one I'm looking most excited to. I've got a lot of stock. I've got Drake May in two leagues. I've got Brock Bowers in another league. I've got a share of Kyle Williams, a couple shares of Stephon Diggs, and in the Wags league, I think I have Travion. So yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of stock this offseason put into Drake May. So excited to see how it shakes out week one.
I think
Yeah.
debatably one of the more underrated, maybe not underrated because I think everybody understands and might be one of the highest scoring games, but the Falcons Bucks game. Uh,
That was my second.
yeah, two really high scoring teams with not great defenses, a lot of fantasy relevant players across the board. So I think across a noon slate that I don't think has a lot of games that are super intriguing, that could be a one that ends up being a really fun one to watch, fantasy relevance or not.
Yeah, definitely agree with that.
Pa Panthers Jags could be fun too. Bengals Browns.
All
I
the games
mean,
will be fun because it's football, baby. Week one,
that's true. The noon slate is just a bunch of it looks like just a bunch of high scoring offenses with bad defenses.
except for the Colts. That's a low scoring offense.
That's true. With a bad defense.
Solid defense, maybe. Just the wrong
Maybe.
guy at the helm.
All right. Well,
Shane
this
Steichen.
this week we can only hope our matchups are as exciting as the real life matchups going on this week. So let's just get into it right now. Preview some matchups. First one we're going to talk about here is newcomer Cam K and the veteran in the ownership, but also the players themselves, Andrew Sumner here.
Unk Squad.
They're going head to head week one, and we made our picks here. Looks like we're split with Cevan being the lone the lone of us here picking Cam K and Reed and I going with Andrew Sumner. I don't know if you guys want to just give a brief defense of your picks, what you guys saw, what you thought.
hmm Yeah. For me, this one was basically a toss up. I'm really not sure what to expect from Sumner's team because again, we're looking at a bunch of guys either coming off injury, coming off down years. His starting lineup's not even filled with the right guys right now because he's still trying to get under the roster limit to be able to make changes to his lineup. So for me, this one was almost a pure toss up for me, but I went with Sumner. I went with a vet. Hopefully, he's got some savvy moves in his pocket to pick up some wins, and hopefully, a big Tyreek Hill bounce back to kind of get him on the right track against a damaged Colts secondary right now.
Yeah, I'll follow up real quick because I also picked him. I really like some of the matchups that his players have, specifically Baker Mayfield going against the Falcons in that game we just talked about. Alvin Kamara going against Arizona. That's a pretty soft matchup for him. And Calvin Ridley, I'm sorry, not Calvin Ridley, Tyreek Hill going against the Colts also looks like a good matchup. So there's some good matchups, I think, for Andrew's team there, and that's what kind of gave him the edge for me.
For
So,
yeah,
yeah,
for
you get
me,
it.
uh agreed with what's been said. I think it's really a toss up. It's yeah, that's all it was. It was a toss up. So it's the side I ended on. I don't have in-depth analysis. I just looked at the players and sided with Cam K.
Nice.
Yeah.
Literally. Sometimes it's that easy.
That's all these are. We aren't putting any more time into your matchups than we need to. These are
So,
gut picks for us. So
yeah.
we're gonna see who's got the best gut check at the end of the year with our picks.
Sneakily, so Cam K has Jaden Daniels, and Jaden Daniels last year in two games against the New York Football Giants scored 13 and 21 points. So sneakily, Jaden Daniels hasn't had the most fantasy success against the Giants.
That's true.
Okay. Oh, we can keep it moving here. Next, we're going to talk about Mr. Monkas himself facing off against Schrader, notably at the bottom of all our power rankings. We'll see if Schrader can pull off the upset here. Taking a look at our picks, however, it looks like we clean swept here and all picked Cevan to take a win home in week one against Schrader. Cevan, I don't know if you want to start here. If it was this just a homer pick, or would if this was someone else's team, would you have the same pick?
I want to preface my answer by saying I think this is the most time Monkas has ever been on one screen. Um, really enjoy it 5 times. No, I'll just say I think I've got the better overall team. I think he's got me at running back, but I win everywhere else. So I've got decent matchups for week one as well. So
Yeah,
I've got a
I
you
go ahead,
go.
Tyler.
No, I have a question for Savan, but I'll let you go here first.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the running back matchups for Schrader, I believe, will make this very interesting. And then you add in the fact that Judy's potentially, I mean, I don't know how many shootouts the Browns can actually get in, but against the Bengals defense, potential for a big game there. So I think Schrader will make this a really interesting matchup for the clean. Even though we all predicted a clean sweep here, I don't think this is going to be a blowout by any means. But I think he's going to give Savan's new look team a run for his money here. But I did end up siding with Cevan in the end, but not by a lot.
Okay, very good. My question is to you, Savan. If Drake May and Michael Penix both come out week one, sub, let's say 15 points, what's the panic level for them rest of the season, 1 to 10?
um, considering that they're both playing not very good defenses, panic level probably like a 1.
So just like, would you call the panic level right now from 1 to 10 also a 1?
Yeah,
So bad week one performance from both of them would not change anything for you.
no, and quick reasoning, Penix first year as a full-time starter and Drake May first year in a new offense. Um, week one, I mean for everybody, would you be surprised if Joe Burrow, okay, bad example. Uh yeah, no. I wouldn't panic.
Okay.
I think his
Well,
panic level would be at like a 6 internally, but he's going to give off cool cucumber vibes at all the whole
yeah.
time.
What if I changed the number to like 12, below 12 for each of them, which they both
Let's
did
just say
last year?
single digits week one. I won't be
Okay.
I won't be too worried.
Okay.
Week one. But ask me like if we're in week eight and they're both averaging 14 points per game, then yeah,
If they're both averaging 14 points per game, your record's not going
Mm.
to look very pretty if I had to
Yeah.
guess.
And we would
correct.
have known well before week 8.
Yes, I agree. But small sample size, Penix averaged 14 last year, Drake averaged 18 in game started, so should be only up from here. That's what I'm banking on. Everybody knows by now. Let's just get to tomorrow so we can watch real football.
The milkman.
Okay. Well, oozles of confidence from Savon there.
I don't think
Oozles.
oozles is a word.
I was
I think you're looking
going.
for oogles of confidence.
Yeah, yeah, that works. Let's just keep it moving then.
Between the
So,
pulling out hairs last episode
uh,
and then the oozles right now, we're in
I
good shape.
I always find a way of stumbling upon my own words, and I'm really trying to fix that, but I
Maybe
don't
that's part
know.
of the charm.
Yeah, maybe. Well, let's talk about your matchup, Reed, against Cam Thornhill, the other newcomer to the league. See where we stand here. Looks like we have a 2-to-1 split here. Reed, you have yourself. Savan also has Reed, and I took Cam Thorne here in a little bit of an underdog pick. Reed, I guess, do you want me to start, or do you two want to
Yeah, just
touch on
just
your team?
give me the case to have me lose week one there, buddy.
I think you have some pretty tough matchups this first week. Dak against Philadelphia, I really hate. I feel like that will be a tough matchup for him. Kenneth Walker against the Niners, I'm pretty skeptical on. Also with Dak, Jake Ferguson, I dislike. You said it yourself. Garrett Wilson against the Steelers. That's just going to be a gross game overall. It feels like, at least. I do love Joe Burrow versus Cleveland. I'll give you that. But if the Bengals are blowing out the Browns, you can see where Joe Burrow's just kind of on autopilot, and Chase Brown and Taj Boyd and Samaje Perine are just running down the clock.
Taj Boyd. What year is it?
What's his name?
Tyler Boyd and
Brooks.
Taj Brooks equal
Yes.
Taj Boyd, Clemson legend.
Yeah. My bad, my bad. Whereas geez Louise, I'm all over the place. Whereas Cam Thorn here, I do love a lot of his matchups. Two against the Colts, that's pretty good. James Cook against the Ravens is good. I mean, let's be honest here. I'm kind of just not uh not scorebook watching, but sleeper watching. I'm just looking for the green font on the page. But I mean, those are, historically the defenses that haven't been the best or that have been good matchups for players. So I guess the long and short there is I like a lot of Cam Thorne's matchups, and whereas you seem to have a little bit tougher week one matchups for your players, and
But does it
maybe
matter that
it'll
my
be
players are better?
Can, can,
uh,
can I follow up real quick
Follow it.
yeah.
before you read? Okay, because that's right where I was going. I was going to say I thought uh, I was flippy floppy with this. I think the matchups on Camden's side are way better, but Reed just has better talent overall, and so that's where I gave you the edge. One note I will make on you not liking Prescott, Tyler, is there is a very real possibility that the Cowboys' skill positions and uh, skill positions outscore all of the Eagles' skill positions simply because they're going to get beat down so bad that they're just going to be passing even more than we already think they will. And so I think while the Eagles defense is good, Dak could easily find a late garbage time, two touchdowns and be in the 20 digits and Ferguson catch one of them. So while sometimes for quarterbacks, bad matchups are bad for the skill positions, sometimes they're good for the quarterback. You get what I'm saying, right? We're
Yeah.
all here. Okay.
I mean, I
So
see what you're saying. I will say I do fall victim sometimes to paying a little bit too close of attention to matchups and trying to play those. Whereas, I mean, you guys are right. Good players are just good players. So I see what you guys
yeah,
are saying about Reed's team, and definitely it's still the better team in my opinion. But I think I'll still give the edge to Cam. Fantasy football, it's a little bit random, and so I think Camden can still pull it out this week, and I'll be fine zagging where you guys are zigging here.
fair. One last thing. I think as at least for me, I think I play the matchups more on like the non-lineup lock type guys, like your flexes, or if like in LM we're doing or I do like late quarterbacks, so like playing the matchups there. Um, not necessarily, well, yeah, sorry. That's all.
Very good.
I'm
Reed, you've
taking
been
my
notably
team.
quiet.
No, I mean, you're picking him because you know his team's the worst, but you're blaming it on randomness. So, I mean, I
No,
think you
no,
know
no.
deep down that I'm favored to win, but you want to pick the dog because you got to give Cam Thorne his flowers. So,
Oh,
no,
I
I
mean,
mean, for me, I have a great matchup with my top stack. I agree with Cevan that even if the matchup is bad for Dak, garbage time is very possible. Josh Downs versus Tyler Warren will be a big game to see who of those guys will be the focus of their short attack, whether that's a week to week basis thing or not. We'll see. But they will be operating in similar parts of the field, and it'll be a very telling week on who's going to kind of dominate those targets. And as we talked about with the Bucks Falcons game, it might look red on the matchups when you're colorblind, but it's going to be a high scoring game. So I'm not super worried about that being a quote unquote bad matchup. So yeah, I mean, if you want to take Cam Thorne based on the matchups, by all means, you go for it. You take that 0-1 to start the season.
I mean, even you guys know that. I mean, the best fantasy teams rarely go undefeated, so I'm
Uh,
sure.
Basically, never.
Yeah.
It's nearly impossible to go undefeated in
So
14
not
weeks.
not saying it's over for you, just
It
saying you
sounds
might
like you're saying my season's over because AR is not in the lineup.
that might be the difference
Yeah.
there.
Okay, we need to move on.
Okay. Let's talk about, oh, we'll go to myself and Deshaun here.
So,
It's yeah, my team's in a weird state right now. We all picked Deshaun to win this one against me, and I'll be realistic here. It's I feel like we need actually you guys talk first, and then I'll talk about my team.
I can go here. I think there's some fun storylines in this matchup. You've got Swerly looking at just missing the playoffs last season, big revamp this offseason. All of us have him at number 2 in our power rankings, a clear contender to win it all this year. But then on the flip side, you've got Tyler, who made the playoffs last year just above Swerly, but an up and down offseason as far as competing and selling. So he's kind of got one foot in, one foot out. So these early season matchups could really be important for what direction he takes his team towards the trade deadline. So a lot of matchups or a lot of storylines here, but for me, Swerly's team is just really, really, really good. So I didn't really care about the matchups that Tyler did or didn't have. I'm just I'm going with Swerly here.
Yeah, for me, it's really nothing against your team, Tyler. I think Deshaun's just he's got too much firepower. Um,
Yeah.
if like yeah, that's really it. It's nothing against you, Tyler.
Will
I
we get
promise.
a week 1 Gabe Davis sighting in the lineup?
Probably not. I don't think so.
What if you need a literal Hail Mary and, Monday or Sunday night you need like 60 points. You're like, "You know what? Let's throw Gabe Davis in there for a 40 burger."
Oh, well,
If it, let's
are they?
yeah, let's
Is he playing Monday night?
Sunday night,
probably.
Bills
Oh,
Ravens.
Sunday. Okay. Would have been perfect to have Rashad Bateman for that. Damn it.
Well, let's just hypothetically, let's just say 3:30 games end. It's 7 p.m. right before Sunday Night Football. Ben Johnson calls a press conference. DJ Moore tore his
20 minutes before the
ACL
game.
in 20 minutes before the Sunday night game. DJ
Wow.
Moore tears his ACL in a walkthrough, and your last
What the
player you can
fuck?
play is Gabe Davis.
Would you take
That's
him or the 0?
I mean, I would pick Gabe Davis then.
Okay, so
No,
there is a chance, is what I'm hearing.
So you're saying
sure.
there's a chance. A 7
I
o'clock
guess
press
so.
conference for Ben Johnson does it.
So I think last thing I'll say about my match, yeah, I picked Deshaun, of course, as well. I feel like by tomorrow night, I'll know if I have a chance or not with
What do
him
you
having
mean?
if I mean Saquon, arguably his big Saquon and CD are both playing tomorrow night. So if they both post average to stinker weeks, then I have a chance. And if they do things that they usually do, then it's probably GG's for me.
So,
As
The
so there's a chance you could call the game before you have any of your 9 starters play.
yes.
That sounds like a very
Okay.
you thing to do, Cevan.
Yeah, I know.
That being said, the Thursday night football conundrum is such a scary one because you have a guy post a bad game on Thursday night football and you're like, "Fuck this. This weekend's already over."
Yeah,
Yes,
You have a
yeah.
guy
exactly.
post a good game or even 2 guys, you're like, "Oh yeah, weekend's already over except it's good." And it's a conundrum because I don't really know which one I prefer.
Yeah.
I would
Sorry,
definitely prefer the getting
prefer
off to a
between
good
like
start.
having somebody on Thursday night versus not having some. Obviously, prefer to have your guys post good games, but
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I won't be watching for Saquon or CD Lamb. I'll be watching for Jaden Blue, of course.
probably
Uh,
not
So
even going to be active if I had to guess.
what he is active. He's cleared. Practiced in full today, and he's off the injury report. I do want to pose a question if I can, since it's kind of on topic. For each of our best players, we'll say Neighbors, Jamar Chase, and
Kind of a slight at Gibbs there, don't you think?
uh, sorry, we'll just say Neighbors, Chase, and Terry. Would you rather them kick off your week on a Thursday or have them be your last player on a Monday?
Kick off the week.
yeah,
I
agreed.
think I'd rather have them close.
When you're
Whereas
ahead by so much, it doesn't matter if they're closing. Give me the lead early. Keep my stress level down. I don't want to have to watch Sunday Night Football and sweat my balls off.
yeah, totally agree.
Fair enough.
Savon likes sweaty balls, I guess. We get it.
Well, I just like the unknown, like, oh, I'm down 15 with Neighbors left. Like, that's just so much fun to me, rather than, oh, I got a nice, good
As long as I'm
15 out
not
of
up
Neighbors.
15 while my opponent has somebody left.
Yeah.
That's not my style.
Week 6, Neighbors, Monday Night Football. you're going to get it.
AR will be starting by then, so he'll kind of clinched it for me by that point.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, let's keep it going here. Don't worry, talk. I'm gonna cut that off there. Next, we have Trent and Sandy here. Let's see where we're at here. Looks like we're split. Cevan and I go Trent, while Reed takes Sandy in this one. Reed, I'll let you talk about Sandy first, and then Cevan and I can follow up with Trent.
Yeah, another pure coin flip one here for me. I just feel a little more confident in the star power that Sandy has, which is kind of the same thing that drove his power ranking for me. Hurts, AJ Brown, and again a matchup that not against a not very good Cowboys defense now. For sure is an attractive one, but limiting his ceiling here with Golden and Kraft. So again, kind of a toss up. I'm really excited to see Rashid Shaheed this year. I think he's going to be really interesting if Rattler can be even kind of competent, which is asking a lot. But I'm interested to see what he can do. And then, I just feel like by default, starting Dallas Goedert in a flex spot should get you to take an L for Trent here. So aside from that, though,
what about Nick Chubb in a flex spot?
that's better than Dallas Goedert. But aside from that, excited to see a big week from Pacheco so Cevan can stop being a moron. But other than that, coin flip matchup for me, not one that I'm really gunning to see, but who knows what it leaves or means for the future here.
Yeah, this was the closest matchup in my mind. When I had the most difficult time picking between. I think, yeah, I don't have too much to add except I fall on the trend side of things. I feel like Bowers is in for a big game, of course, anchoring Trent's team there. And JJ McCarthy against the Bears, I do think that will be exciting. And I feel like that's about as good as I mean, Cevan, I guess I don't know. How's the Bears defense shaping up to be? Because it hasn't always been the best in the past few years. So I feel like that's a decent matchup for JJ.
First of all, the Bears defense has been pretty solid over the last year and a half. But with their new DC, he's actually going to send the kitchen sink at him all night. And I wouldn't be surprised if they have an over 50% blitz rate. So
There you
I
go.
think it'll be a very good test for him. I wouldn't expect him to have, a crazy game.
Yeah.
Probably in the teens, mid-teens,
So,
15, 14 to 18 range.
Those are the
Yeah.
mid-teens.
so yeah, wouldn't be surprised if this is the closest matchup in terms of victory margin. And I just give the edge to Trent in this one.
Yeah, and for me, I sided with Trent. It's about as 50-50 as you can get. Logic, just stay with me here. It's not a very good one. Trent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of his 9 starters in a prime time window. So he's just setting the stage for big performances. They're the only game on TV, so everybody's watching, and everybody's going to be watching his players specifically. And when your players are on prime time, good things are bound to happen.
I feel like
So
that's when the worst things are bound to happen.
I remember, I don't know. That was my logic, so just let me live by it.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have
Prime time matchup.
so this week, Rob and Ian are our prime time matchup. Two stallions at the top of the power rankings for us all. This should be a good one to monitor for the sake of the league. See how this one turns out. They each have their own compelling storylines, with Rob being part of arguably the two biggest trades in the five-way trade, and also the trade to acquire Pat Mahomes, and Ian just generally having a strong team, but also having 2 first-round picks, and then also picking Emeka Egbuka in the beginning of the second round. So we will just go ahead and get right into it with our picks here. Looks like Svan has Ian, I have Ian, and Reed has Robert. Why don't I let you start here with defending Rob's honor here, Reed?
Yeah. No, I think this is purely a case of Cooper Kupp is washed, and I don't really know. Like, I expect both rookies to be good this season, but you just don't know what you're getting. They might be good week one. They might get a lot of run week one. We just don't know. Najee Harris confirmed will be playing in Brazil for the Chargers, so potentially a handful of touches there from Hampton that maybe wasn't a couple weeks ago, looking likely to get taken from him. Unsure what Henderson's workload will look like or not look like. So I do think Ian has the better team over the course of the season, but overall, I am taking Rob in this one. He's got some solid matchups, nothing crazy. This is the Pat MVP campaign that starts on Friday here in Brazil. So, very close matchup. Should be a very fun one. Definitely the most fun, high-powered matchup of the week. But I am going with the newbie, the playoff misser last year, and I am taking Rob in this one.
Yeah. Also, Tony Pollard
Big time.
is a big boon for Robert right now. Just funny that's who's trying to replace in his lineup, but Tajay Spears not playing is big for him. So, um, but I did not pick Robert. Cevan, do you want to talk about Ian first, and then I can follow up with anything else?
Yeah, sure. For me, I mean, you got the anchors of his team squaring off head to head on Sunday Night Football. I think everybody's really excited about that game. I could see it being, 30 plus from each team. And I mean, if you're going up against six, potentially, 6 to 8 touchdowns from the quarterback spot, that's hard to overcome. And then you add in the fact that, he's got BTJ against Carolina, he's got Njoku against Cincy, Chase Brown against Cincy. It's just too much ceiling with Ian's team. Pretty much the theme of the offseason playing out here in week one.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on David Njoku. I think there's a real chance he has tight end one on the week opportunity here. With a really soft Bengals defense, Joe Flacco slinging the rock, the Browns seem poised to be playing catch up all game. I think there's a real chance David and Njoku's the top scoring tight end this week, and that would obviously really help Ian. And then Chase Brown on the other side of the ball, just wearing down that Browns offense definitely seems like a real thing that will probably happen, maybe happen. So I took Ian as well. I'm not worried about one player in Cooper Cup.
I
That
cited
doesn't.
3 players, Mr. Slurp King.
Who else did you
Both
cite?
of those rookie running backs.
Uh,
Yeah, we get it.
let's.
We get it. You wanna put his whole team in your mouth. We get it. But I am disagreeing,
I
Mister. I didn't pick Reed to beat
I
Cam Thorn.
I'm actually surprised he's not starting Egbuka right now over Travion Henderson. But
I'd start him over Cooper Cup.
Definitely over
yeah,
Cup.
either or. Maybe he will.
We'll see.
So
He is a regular
Um,
pod listener, so we'll see.
one one thing I'll add on Rob's team, another differentiator for me, uh, were some of the matchups. You got Brees Hall against Pittsburgh, JSN against San Francisco, and Tony Pollard against Denver. Also sneaky, Jettas hasn't Jettas has missed the entire training camp and will be getting locked down by top 3 corner in the league. So, um,
who's that?
Jalen Johnson,
Okay.
it's valid, not glazing. But so yeah, matchups also did play a part in my decision making. Rob, if you're listening, it's nothing against you. Um, I'm glad you're in this spot to be in the primetime matchup now.
That
All
sounded like a
right.
backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry your team sucked last year. I'm glad you're better this year.
On paper.
On paper, he got Patrick Mahomes in the offseason.
No, that
That's
actually
true.
happened.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry.
Well, that's what we had for our matchups this week. I guess, Reed, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about how this episode's going to look from week to week and also how we're going to be doing our keeping track of our predictions here. I guess I'll just dish you the rock here and let you
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah, no, as I mentioned, obviously in season. The goal of these episodes will be to recap what happened last week, big performances, results of matchups, standings, anything interesting that happened throughout the week. Go over those, go over how our picks fared the previous week, show some overall standings. We're going to keep track season long and weekly to see how those go. And then we'll jump into the previews. So the more than just the previews upcoming once a week, but for now, that's all we have. So yeah, not a whole lot. I think that is going to be out of the blue here. We might have some scoring system. We might just go a pure win-loss, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to who knows ball. So Anything else from you fellas before we wrap up here? Week 1
Al
preview.
always. Um,
Can we keep it brief?
uh, Brief is relative. Let's see. Uh,
Okay, you don't need to
Obviously
think
we're
of something
recording.
to say.
It would no. It's football eve. We're all here 24 hours out right now from we'll be in the first quarter of the first game. We've all been itching. We're excited. Again, glad it's here. Uh, Ready to start 1-0. Tyler, you're going to start 1-0. Reed, you're going to start 1-0. The pod,
Wow.
uh, my goal from this pod is to represent in the championship again. 66% of this podcast has participated in 100% of the championships, and I don't intend on that ever changing. So that's all from me.
So you always wanted the championship to be between us three.
Yeah, at least somebody
Ah,
representing.
What if
showing.
all three of us played in the championship game?
Well, Tyler technically can play in a championship game this year.
What do you mean technically?
The toilet bowl is a championship.
Okay. That's probably a good
It's
place to
rude.
cut it off.
Okay. We will wrap this one up here. We will have a very fun episode. We will finally have our board bets episode posting this weekend to give everybody an insight into the random disagreements that we have throughout the off season. We keep track of those. We make bets on them. We keep track of the progress throughout the year, and we're going to share all those with you guys to see who is siding with who. Put out a little poll for everybody to vote on and see how bad all of Cevan's predictions are. But that's coming out after the first 2 games of the year. So until next time, we will see you then.